You gotta pay attention to what this man is talking about. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a very interesting interview between Tucker Carlson, formerly of Fox News, and Tulsi Gabbard, a former U.S. House rep from Hawaii. Now, the full interview between them came out about 4 months ago on Tulsi Gabbard's channel. I did not see it back then. However, there's a clip from that interview that has surfaced within the past couple of days that has pretty much gone viral, in which Tucker Carlson is exposing the deep state swamp, the kind of uniparty that's happening right now in the federal government. Okay, this is probably why, or at least a piece of the reason why, he is no longer on Fox. It's also part of the reason why he's being quote unquote exposed by Media Matters, putting out unearthed clips talking about, oh, he's a racist and he's a rhino and he hates Trump, all this, that, and the third. I believe Tucker is above the left versus right nonsense happening in Washington, D.C. And before I go any further into it, let's roll the clip. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary and also the full podcast, the link will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
There are members of Congress who are controlled by the intel agencies. I'm not speculating on this. You know, I lived there for 35 years. I know this. I had a very high-ranking member of the House Intel Committee tell me at dinner at a restaurant in Washington when he'd been drinking, we got to talk about this. And I said, oh, I'll text you. He goes, I can't text. And I said, why is that? And he goes, well, because NSA reads my text. And I said, NSA reads it? Wait, you're the head guy on the Intelligence Committee. You're their boss.
Let's pause for a minute. Now, if the NSA is reading the top level people in the federal government, if the NSA is reading their text, then why would they not read your text as well? This is kind of a point of hypocrisy here about China and whatnot, because they're talking about, oh, you know, China, they got TikTok and they're trying to spy on you. Well, how about the NSA spying on you? How about them having access to all social media apps and everything else is going on? So what's the difference? You know, well, okay, it's better for the U.S. to spy on you than China to spy on you. I guess that's the rationale. Okay, that's cool.
You're providing oversight in our constitutional system. He's like, yeah, but, you know, they're still spying at me. First thing. Second thing, Michael McCall, who is, you know, the leader of, I would say, the neocons in the House, kind of low-key neocons, but neocons. I got into an argument with him once last year on the phone. He told somebody that I was a Russian agent or something, and I was outraged. So I called him on the phone, and I used bad language. I was really mad. And he said, whoa. I just got that. You know, that's what the intel briefers told me, that you were working for Russia. And I said, that's what the intel briefers told you? You believe your fucking intel brief? Like, how old are you, son? You know, I'm from DC. My dad was in this world. Like, you're being manipulated by your intel briefers.
Wow. So that's a piece of that right there. Again, the full thing is on Tulsi Gabbard's YouTube page. I'll link to that in the description. But that was very good from Tucker. That's just one piece of it. And, you know, what he said right there is all fact. Like I said from the beginning about the whole thing with the NSA reading texts of high-level people. If they're going to do that to him, then what about you? You might as well just put everything out there. If you don't want certain things to be seen, don't even put it on your phone, because that's the key right there. If you were to get locked up or accused of a crime or something like that, they're going straight to your phone right away. That has like the key to everything in there. You got pictures, metadata on it. You got text messages that have time, dates, and everything else, geolocation. The whole 9 yards is right there in your phone, and the federales at a certain point are able to have access to it, and they keep passing these laws and these things that are done to quote unquote protect you. They'll say it's to protect you, but really it's to spy on you and to gain more control over you. And then the whole thing about being called a Russian agent, we've heard that quite a bit, haven't we, over the past few years? That has been a thing ever since Trump came into office. Remember, oh, he's colluding with the Russians, Russia. Everything's about Russia. So it doesn't matter. You could just be a regular normie posting on TikTok. Oh, you're linked to the Russians. I'd have been accused of being a Russian agent is because of the programming done to the regular people. Like, the intelligence officers know that they have done a very good job of branding Russia as the enemy. So whenever they want to label somebody as an enemy in America, or as a bad person, or as, I guess you would say, persona non grata, not welcome, as an other, as the new, kind of untouchable class, they say, oh, they're linked to Russia. They are a Russian agent. Oh, and the biggest one was a Russian bot. A Russian bot. So when normies, regular mouth breathers, when they hear that on the news all the time, when they see it on television, if they're reading the newspaper like it's 1975 or something like that, if they're doing that and they keep seeing Russia, 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 they're going to first go to that in their mind whenever there's any kind of political adversary. Okay, me just being a conservative and being on the right, I am considered a Russian bot by some. If I say, well, maybe we shouldn't be over there in Ukraine spending a bunch of money, fighting the proxy war. I'm against global war. I'm not a conflict type person. I don't see the purpose of being over there. Oh, you pro Putin. You love Putin. You're a Russian agent. You're a Russian spy. And it's to the point where a lot of normies will be driven into thinking that a guy who is labeled like that should be sent to the penitentiary, get more big rocks, little rocks, only because of that correlation that was made by somebody's opinion with not much evidence to back it up. This is what's happening right now to Trump. People will still in the streets, they'll talk about, oh, Trump's he's with Putin. What does that mean exactly? He's with Putin. What does that mean? What did he do? And they're not going to have much for you. All they're doing is regurgitating whatever they heard on the news, whatever they saw on Facebook, Mark Zuckerbergville. All they're going to do is just repeat that. That's what's going on. And you're seeing the same thing from the so-called intelligence officials. The most infamous story was Hunter Biden. You know what's the best way for us to squash this story is to not only have the alphabet letter agencies back us up on it, not only to have social media companies acquiesce to the alphabet agency saying, hey, Twitter, Facebook, Google, etc. Yeah, this is Christopher Wray. This is X, Y, and Z person, Adam Schiff. We need you to go ahead and delete that Hunter Biden story. Go ahead and put a flag on it that says Russian misinformation. And then the people, the so-called intelligence officials, 51, 52 of them, signed a letter that said that it was Russian disinformation. It had all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation. They put that out there knowing that it wasn't true, knowing that that was Hunter Biden, knowing the tape smoking crack. If they can read all your emails, your text messages, if they could turn your camera on your phone without you knowing and spy on you, allegedly, perhaps, potentially, if they can do all that, you think they don't know about Hunter Biden and the crack smoke and the Ukraine and the China to Russia? They don't know about that? Of course they do. So when the laptop came out, hey, it's panic mode, go ahead and shut it down. Call it Russian misinformation, and then the masses of people will just accept it. People still right now to this day will believe that it is Russian misinformation, it was Russian bots, and you can provide them all the proof in the world that it's not. You can see the federal government say that it's not right now. All they're going to believe is whatever they were told initially because that's what they've been programmed to do. This is a whole big mess. And Hunter really just exposed it, how you're not really safe from it. You could be at the top level of government all the way down to the regular everyday working Joe. It's that deep. It's that serious. And a thing like that in the federal government goes way beyond left and right. When you're talking about the feds, it becomes more of a uniparty. State government is where you have some autonomy, where there's a sharp difference between the left and the right in the state government, which is why the federal government should take a back seat. They can be kind of corrupt or whatever, as long as they're just doing what they're supposed to do. Hey, man, just take care of the border. Like, do your actual job as the feds, get out of our lives, and let us have more power in the state and city governments. That should be the way it is, rather than this failed idea of federalism we got going on right now. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Tucker Carlson said in that clip from the Tulsi Gabbard interview podcast or whatever that was? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. That was 100% on point. You guys pretty much know it. I'm like preaching to the choir. A lot of you guys know it, but some of you guys may not know it. Some of you guys may think that, you may believe the intelligence officials, but you got guys and girls that are in DC that have been there their whole lives that'll tell you just that. Talk to them. Like, I'm from Virginia, of course. I've been to DC a lot. And you would hear things that you would never see on television because they're afraid for their lives. They're afraid for their jobs. They're afraid to get Tucker Carlson, get fired from a high paid position, potentially, and then get smeared in the press as some type of negative and hateful and racist person. They don't want that to be on their back like Tucker has right now on his back. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.